Kidz Jam, Mrs. Faith and Alfie here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday morning or whenever you're watching us here in the YouTube channel. So, we are going to talk about Jesus today, specifically Jesus in the temple, but before we do that, we're actually going to do worship. We're going to do one song again. It's a song that we learned a couple months ago, and we're going to bring it back so we can really digress with it and really actually know the motions of it. So it's called River by Jordan Felice. So if everyone can stand up, make sure you have some room, make sure you have some space. Please do not hit your brothers and sisters, and we're going to dive into worship.
I know a place where we can go to lay the troubles down, in your soul. I know a place where mercy flows. Take the stains, make it whiter than snow. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes it come alive. Living water that brings it dead to life. I've seen it move in my own life. Took me from dusty roads into paradise. All of my dirt, all of my shame, drowned in the streams that have made me born again. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes it come alive. Living water that brings it dead to life. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Let's get washed by the water, and rise up in amazing grace. Let's go down, down, down to the river. You will leave change. Let's go down, down, down to the river. Never the same. Let's go down. Let's go Let's go down. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Let's get washed by the water, and rise up in amazing grace. Let's go down, down, down to the river. You will leave change. Let's go down, down, down to the river. Never the same. Gonna go down in amazing grace. Down to the down in amazing grace.
Good job! Now we're going to move on to our Bible story. Alright, now on to our Bible story. So, like I said earlier, we are talking about Jesus and in the temple. And we're talking about the story of when his parents thought that he was with them and he was actually at the temple. So at the time, Jesus was 12. And this is right before, years later when he does the ministry. We're going to be in Luke 2:41 through 52. So you want to grab your Bibles and open it up, and we're going to dive into the Word. Every year his parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. When he was 12 years old, they went up to the feast. After the festival was over, while his parents were returning home, Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but they were unaware of it. Thinking he was with them, they traveled on for a day, and they began looking for him among the relatives later. When they found out that he wasn't there, they went back to Jerusalem. After 3 days, they found him in the temple. Hi, mister. Like that, they traveled back. Everyone who heard him was amazed at the understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been searching for you." Jesus replied, "Why were you searching for me? Didn't you know I had been in my father's house?" They did not understand what he meant by that. He went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. But his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus grew up in wisdom and stature in favor of God and man. So that was a lot. Let's backtrack. And you're probably also wondering something. So let's give some clarification. So, Jesus was around 12 years old, and every year they went to this festival. And it's a big festival, and family comes, and it's always like a trip and stuff like that, and these trips are really long. So while there, they had some good food, and then they it's almost like how we do Christmas, but different. It's how they celebrate the freedom they got because God helped his people leave Egypt. So, because of that, they have this festival. Now, after the festival, like I said earlier, they travel with family and friends and stuff like that. So, for them, it's very easy to lose someone like Jesus because, they probably thought, oh, he was in the back with grandma and grandpa, so he's fine, or he was with his uncle and aunt and stuff like that. And so they left thinking he was with them, and after a day they're like, we haven't seen Jesus, let's go find Jesus. So they start searching and searching and searching. Like, my dog came over and was searching for me, and he found me, and they realized that Jesus wasn't there, and they're like, uh-oh. So they had to go back, and that journey back took a day. So it was like they went, and it was a day, and then they had to go back, and they realized he was gone, so they had to waste another day to go back. And they finally found him at the temple, and he was astonishing, the wise men and all these people about his understanding of Jesus. And they ran to him, and they were like, "Where were you? Like, why weren't you here?" And Jesus was like, "Well, why didn't you know that I was here? I'm with my father." And his father is gone. And, after that, Jesus went with them home, and he obeyed Mary and Joseph. And, he grew up with the wisdom and the understanding and obeying his mother and father and, and all that jazz. With all that, it is very easy to get lost in the crowd. And, Jesus didn't get lost. But doesn't mean we don't get lost. We sometimes lose focus of God. Or sometimes we are too focused on God that we forget things that are around us. Like, mom and dad. Or we focus on, pleasing God, which isn't a bad thing. But, sometimes what we think God is telling us to do isn't always the right thing. Or maybe it's something that's too much for us to handle. And that's why he brings people along, whether that's your parents or your grandparents or, me or Pastor Dave and a bunch of other people. We are all here to help each other. And it is very easy to push us down. It's very easy to criticize each other for things that was out of our control or was under our control, but God had a different plan. But God's always there, and God will always take care of us no matter what. And, he took care of Jesus. He was at the temple, and I'm pretty sure he ate there, and, he got to talk and understand God more. And that's the same thing for us. So, let's bow our heads and close our eyes. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this story. I thank you that we can go to you. Things aren't easy, but you make things possible. And I thank you for your wisdom. I thank you for your kindness. And I thank you for your kindness. You have a gentle spirit, and we thank you for that. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Alright, Kidz Jam. I'll see you later. Bye.